last Monday, not a Freudian slip this time. I had the opportunity to go back to Epcot.
Oh yeah, okay, okay.
All right.
He's
Uh,
back.
okay.
Since they've done more updates, not fully
Well.
done,
Here,
but
here, here's my short take. Um, as someone who Epcot until probably the late 2010s was his absolute favorite place in the world. Um, it is unacceptable that I went 2.5 years ago and there's still walls around.
yeah, it's
Like
Disney,
what
man.
the heck, dude? Like
They're
this is
slow.
unacceptable. Unacceptable. Like that community core building's really small too.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start. Um,
They downsized it. It was supposed to be bigger originally.
yeah, yeah. Well, the original. So, you know, I'm not gonna say it. Screw it. Let put me put just you can just call me a Disney hater. I don't care. Yeah, bro, this is a freaking waste of money. Whatever they did in Epcot, it's a waste of money. It was 100 times better how it was before. Community Court Plaza, the innovations area, Fountain of the Nations. It was better. This thing's dumb. Like you could have added trees and planters and added the Walt Disney statue and gotten probably and saved yourself $100 million.
Would this be a Josh D'Amaro thing though, right? I mean, there's more people than that,
I don't
but
know
like
who
he'd be probably
greenlit.
one of the
I
main.
think Chapek greenlit it back when he was
Okay.
in charge of parks. Yeah,
Yeah.
this reeks of Chapek.
Yeah.
It sucks. It's bad. Like I'm sorry, right? The music is bad. The new plaza is bad. Like it's sterile. Like it has no dynamism like the innovations plaza was. Um, the fountain's gone. That's you know a huge miss. I know that the cost of you could have probably upkept that fountain for the next 15 years for what you for what you paid here. Okay, Journey of Water. My kid loved it,
Yeah. It's
but it's a
very,
five
very
minute
simple.
thing. It
Yeah.
really it doesn't really do anything for me, man. Like
It's
I
also
that
a weird placement too,
yeah, yeah.
like where it is.
We couldn't find it. Like I had to go around. I was like, "Wait, this is across Nemo." I was like, "What the heck?" Um, it's like it doesn't do anything for me, right? It's it's just not great. Um, man, I am so disappointed. And then we rode Soren, and then Soren at the end goes through the interventions plaza. I was like, no, why?
What used to be, what
What
used to
used to
be.
be?
Yeah.
See, I don't know, man. That Wonders of Life pavilion is still there, like rotten, because it's like there's no pathway to it. They blocked the pathway, right? It's still blocked off, but you can still see the building. Um, it's sterile. It's just not fun. I I'm gonna get in trouble, man. I don't. I the music's bad. It's very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Like when they did the new World Discovery music when that went live, I saw a post of LinkedIn from the composer who happens to be female. I don't, and it's not my fault, right?
Yeah.
Just like, oh yeah, it's great to see that my music, awesome to hear my music playing on Epcot and World Discovery or whatever. This music's not good. I'm sorry. It's not fun. It's just like an ethereal thing, and it's really like boring. It's just boring. That's the word. That's the word. It's just boring, dude.
I,
Like
I
it's.
think
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't I mean I love how like candor because I think like where you come from is where a lot of people feels like there's something about old Disney and it really stopped like the moment they started making certain changes like 2019 beyond like that's when like it all really changed for the worse. And it's not just even like we're not on movies, we're talking about the parks even just alone. For me, I'm probably not as passionate about, but I also haven't been around the product as long as you have in the same way. Like you literally, I've spent way more hours there than I have. In like remembering what was and how it was, where I've had limited interactions over the years. Um, but I will 100% agree with your sentiment of specifically between the entrance to where the fountains are on that premise of that specific thing alone to know for how long. I mean, that was years of them taking of having that all shut blocked out and just being supposedly this huge upgrade to the front of the park.
Right.
And which is when your main like when you enter a park, that's like a first impression kind of thing. And it is extremely underwhelming when you really, really think about it because you're like, okay,
It's
like
all
if you didn't know
white.
yeah, like if you didn't know any better, if it's your first time coming there, you probably wouldn't feel as passionate personally. You probably be like, okay, sure, whatever. It's a park.
Right.
It's clean, it's nice, whatever. But if you knew for what it was, when it was like you had a water fountain show, like kind of thing, and it was just I didn't like the tombstones. I think that's a great update that they took the
Oh, right, right,
tombstones
right,
out.
right. Yeah.
Like there's things about it. Like I love the lights that they put on the actual spaceship Earth, and that
No,
they
yeah.
have the
Right.
old show music kind of going, putting with that, with the lights going around the side, stuff like
Right.
that. There's things like about that
There's
I
there's
like,
there's there's elements, right? But like,
but to
yeah,
agree with your sentiment, like you didn't have to pay the amount of money they did for something that you're like, wait, that's it? That's all they're
didn't have
doing?
a have to have a
You know?
creator there for 4 years
Yeah, exactly,
to do what
exactly.
you did when Universal's
Yeah.
doing a whole new theme park in the same time amount
Whew,
of time. It's insane,
whew.
dude. Insane.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
so like
But
and
it
it's
has evolved and changed
oh
because like they had the play pavilion stuff. Like no one
the
knows that that's gonna
more
happen.
the more I think about it, the more depressed I get, and it's really
Yeah,
sad. It really really is.
sure.
Like I get it, right? The best way I could put this is I'm sure you've seen the meme with the girl with the rainbow hair and her sister with the black hair and then black clothes in the
Yeah,
car, and that's
yeah.
exactly what it is. It's like yeah, Epcot before the construction, after the construction. It's
Right, right,
super dull.
right,
It looks nice, but it's super dull.
right,
And
right.
but versus I was like the Epcot was just fun, and then okay, so we ate at Connections again.
Yep.
That's probably like the only redeeming thing is that again the food in that place is better than your average is way better than your average theme park
That's
food
Epcot in
for the
general.
price. Yeah,
Epcot has better food.
right. And it's good.
Yeah.
Food is good. Now, does it have like neon umbrellas and just like crazy stuff from the 90s? No. It's a Starbucks, you know. And it's not even one of the like the themed like nice Starbucks. It's just a Starbucks, right? And I think that's the problem with it, right? Um, yeah, the other like the '90s innovations thing was dated, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But at the same
Yep.
time, you're not here. Okay, I'm gonna throw it. I'm gonna throw it. Disney, what are you doing? So okay, here and again, right? If you know why I'm so upset about this, right? And why and we were having a conversation not related to Disney before we went live about this. Um, have you not seen the trend of like people loving retro stuff? Have you not seen
Yeah,
vinyl sales and CD sales and cassette sales
it's
and people
insane.
buying Blu-rays and people buying VHS players and Godzilla Minus One being out on VHS? Have you not seen how much people like retro stuff? Why not just make
Corded
it?
headphones are back. I
Corded
mean,
headphones are
it's like
back.
random.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And like, why are you like who? Like, who's doing these projections like at Disney? Honestly, like I know that this was probably a JPEG thing, right? And we just have to deal with it, unfortunately. At least they took out that really bad like uh, fireworks show. We didn't stay until the end, but um, it was I don't know, man. Like, who's doing the planning? Like, who? Like, what people do you have there? Like, looking at like data, right? It's like, and not even looking at data, right? Because that's the problem. That's the whole problem. Like, you look at that data. Oh, data's predicting that people will like nothing, and let's go ahead and turn Epcot into nothing, so people will love it. But no, it's like they completely missed the point that the charm of that park was it actually being retro at the time when you started the construction. And,
I hear you. I hear where you're coming
right.
from. I still think like you need to have upgrades. I just
There's
think it's the
some upgrades.
personality. I think it's the
Is
I don't know if
that
it's
right?
necessarily that it's retro necessarily as much that it's just because Disney does tend to like pull a lot on nostalgia. I feel like
Right.
that's like one of their bread and butters. And some might even say that was like Harmonious, the show that they had before, like that was one of their main things. Like, here's all the old songs, like, stuff like that. But like, I think there's something to be said about just like personality
That's the
because
thing. Yeah.
like having the having the neon floors and the purple thing, like nobody I can tell you when I was there for like, a couple years before they shut that down, like nobody ate in that area. The food wasn't that good.
Food wasn't
It,
that
it,
good.
it didn't
Right.
smell very nice. It probably did at one time, but it just felt like this is like not
No.
the cool part. Let's go to the
No.
cool part and eat over here.
Right.
And so it needed to have something more vibrant. I think what they did, and that part is cool, but like I
Right.
agree. Personality doesn't feel like if I walked in there and I didn't walk through the Disney pearly gates, I might just think that I was just in a
It's
really
just
nice food court
exactly.
at a mall. And I'd be like, oh, it's a nice mall. That's what I kind of have always felt about Epcot more recently, where I'm like, it's one of the least theme parks. I always say that all the time. Like, it's some parts of the festivals. And I don't really go to Epcot going, I'm going to go ride rides, even though they have some good ones. I mean, I think
Right.
Guardians is cool and whatever. But I agree. Disney personality as a whole, it's missing some of that like adventure and
Yeah. 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 They're like
as you're a kid,
that's what I
how would you
think.
see it?
Right.
Like if you're
Yeah.
a kid walking in there, do you feel this? I don't
Totally.
know.
Totally. And I would have. You know what? And I haven't asked my daughter about how she felt
Yeah,
about it. Right.
yeah,
But like it's like it does nothing for a kid, right? Oh, there's a geosphere, that's awesome, right? But then after that, there's nothing up until you
yeah,
get to like the rides. Before you got the fountain, like and then everything's
yeah.
static now. Nothing moves, right? Before you had the fountain, you have the moving things around the interventions. You had the board, you had the
Sure.
canopy, right? There were like it was dynamic. Um, it felt like it was moving, like it was
Mm,
living. Now
mm.
it
The
feels
floor would light up. There's some cool stuff,
like
man.
there's more dynamism
Yeah.
at Lake Eola Park than there is at Epcot right now.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Uh, dude, they got a fountain.
He really loves his fountain, guys.
No,
Always triggered about the water.
it's moving, and that's the thing that there's no movement. Everything's static. Everything's white and open. It feels like you know what? You know what that plaza feels like? It feels like when you go to one of the like the war memorials in DC.
Yeah, I guess I felt to me it felt more like a college university campus, like a new university campus. Like, okay, I've
I
got
could
my
see
food
that.
court over here, the gift shops over here.
Oh,
I actually felt like it's a nice area that I could take my laptop and probably work out of that area if I wanted to, as long as it's not seeping hot as it is always in Florida.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
like I said, but like it could be like, oh, let me go get some fresh air and do my homework out here. That's kind of like the aesthetic I got from it. Very university,
Yeah,
very university.
it's boring.
Which is why I'm
I'm
saying
so
the kid
sorry, man.
element side of it. I do
It
think it's
it's
missing.
really unfortunate because again, that I used to say when back when I was a cast member that
Yeah.
I could pitch a tent and live at Epcot.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
I loved it. Now it's just boring. I would rather stay home. So it's what it is, man. This guy's honestly
Oh man.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's again mind boggling to me. Like
Um,
the
we're gonna
destruction
have a chance at another one over
they
here.
destroyed the panel. Well, I'm gonna have more chances to talk about that
Yep.
because we bought the 3 day Florida resident ticket.
Okay.
So I'm gonna
Okay.
go back. I'm gonna go to studios for Magic Kingdom sometime in the summer. I'm just waiting for not for it not to be scolding hot.
Yeah.
We managed not to go either like yesterday or today, so that's why we planned it. We went Monday when the weather was good. It was still hot, but it wasn't too crazy. Um, and again, it's unfortunate because they have the best ride in Disney World. Guardians is probably the best ride at Disney World. Like I really love that ride,
Yeah. It's great.
and I was able to get a pass no problem. We waited like 10 minutes inside, dude. It was great.
Yeah, that ride moves well.
Yeah, and then like we did all the major ones except Ratatouille. That line was too long, and I was like, it was fine last time we went. Then didn't do anything crazy for me either. So, man, I'm sad. They
Yeah.
they took it away from me, and now there's
We
no
got a lot
there's,
more to talk about on the show.
there's no going back. I'm so sorry, man. Yeah, so that segue into the approval of Disney's expansion
We got another
by
chance.
by Florida. So go ahead, dude, take it away.
Yeah, I mean, we've treaded lightly up upon it, but it's no hidden story that Florida, the state of Florida, specifically government officials, have been having their um, interesting battles with Disney as a business, as an entity. But as we all know, money is a great way to solve a lot of problems, and I think that's what seemed to happen here.
Right,
And the long story of the short of it is over the last couple months, Iger has been campaigning for the ability to get approved through some funding efforts and through some other political efforts to try and get the approval process for Disney to build a fifth theme park, along with some other projects as well. And they just got the approval yesterday to technically begin working on the project of having a fifth brand new Disney theme park, as well as two other minor attractions that there's also being worded as. This would be kind of in the same vein as like a Typhoon Lagoon or something like that. Something that's like it's not a huge theme park,
could
but
it be an
it's
expand? Could it be park expansions?
it could be. It just was worded as like two separate
Two
independent like
separate,
little things.
smaller.
So
Yeah,
it could be, people. It's also been compared to like a Disney Springs. There's been a couple people have tried to dive into what that really is. So there's a lot going around it over
I
the next
remember.
10 years.
Sorry to interrupt. There was
You're
I
good.
remember that there was a proposed um like shopping area next to the Four Seasons that never happened. And it was
Really?
supposed to be like high end
Huh.
stores, like kind of like Mall Millennia almost.
Ah.
So that could be one.
Exclusive. Throwback.
Exclusive, yeah. And that was
Sounds like
that's old. I remember those were rumors back when I was a cast member. It's been 14 years.
well, hey, you never late than never.
Right.
But this thing might take 10 years. So that's what's basically the gist of it. We don't know the exact timeline of when, what, but we just know that on the basis of funding alone,
Right.
that this is something that will be moving forward. There will be a fifth theme park coming to Disney World. This has all been cleared the runway. Obed, what do you think the fifth theme park's gonna be? What's your reaction?
Man, like I told my wife, she's like, "What is it gonna be about, or what are they gonna do?"
Yeah.
I mean, they can't do Marvel, like, because they're spreading it around, and then Universal still has that the
Exclusivity
contract,
in
yeah, I mean,
Florida. Yeah.
exclusivity in perpetuity or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They already did their Star Wars land. I mean, they do they need another park? Yes. The short answer is yes. Right. Um, this is their opportunity, Joel. If there is someone with any kind of vision at Disney, that you go and you go after what's hot out there, and you license it out. Disney can no longer support itself on the power of their old IPs.
Hmm.
You need to license IPs to be on your property. Universal understood that very early on, and look at how well they're doing. You need to do that.
Hmm.
So you need to mix it up, right? You need to mix up your Disney IPs with other stuff that's not Disney, and that's the reality of it, right? They like my daughter don't care for princesses,
Yeah.
but I told her that there's a Dragon Ball park opening in Saudi Arabia, and she's like, "Why does it has to be so far?" Like, yeah, what,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
So that like princesses don't sell anymore. Like it's crazy that I saw like three little girls with princess dresses at Epcot. Like
Yeah, and
that's not
that
a
had
thing
been like
anymore.
10 years ago, 15 years ago.
Yeah,
That's why they did the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique at Magic Kingdom
yeah,
because that was the thing. Like,
yeah,
you're going to have your full Cinderella experience
bro.
and be the
15 years
belle of the
ago, that was
ball.
nuts, dude.
That was
Nuts.
huge. It
Yeah.
was huge.
Now,
It
no,
ain't like that
apparently,
anymore. Now
no.
it's like, can I build a lightsaber at Hollywood Studios?
Right,
And the girls want to do it too. But when you said about the IPs specifically, like saying like things that are trending, I think it's even an opportunity for things that maybe haven't had a look at it in a while, things that have been existing, but they're not the hot thing necessarily. I'm not saying that they're not doing well, but like they're not getting the name attention. I'm talking about things like Sega that you talked about
right,
before. Like it's an opportunity where you can help. I'm not saying that it needs to be elevated, but give it the platform to have the love and nostalgia come back for it
dude.
that it has in other parts and other areas around the world.
Do a Kingdom Hearts thing.
Right. Oh yeah, exactly. I think more
No
adults,
brainer.
adults, teen to adult, like young adult style park is something that they're gonna probably need. And I'm not saying that they can't do things for kids. It's always been their thing. It's family friendly.
Right.
That's why they're not doing like the Hulk coaster and things
No,
like that, right?
totally.
But like I do think they need to find like how you were saying, whether that's like good into gaming. They don't what if your park has like you can have some of your own stuff, your Wreck It Ralph or whatever. But like their park says like we're going to literally capture the next generation of Disney fans. We got our Fortnite deal. We got like a Sega. Like how can we push some of these things as well? Other things for everyone else.
Right.
That's the route I would go.
No,
But
totally. Yeah.
we'll see.
No, I agree. I don't think that. Yeah, I just don't think that their IPs resonate as well as they do. Like people still go to the parks, right? It doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, it's a good time.
But it's like you're gonna when you have like what Universal's doing, right? It's like Big Hero 6. Do something Big Hero 6 here.
I know.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
So
Acknowledge that. It's such a great movie.
yeah. So that could be one, right? That could be a good
Yes.
start. Um,
Kind of Marvel, kind of not.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So, yeah, man.
Get some of the
It's
Hulu properties. They have some rights into Hulu.
do a Predator,
Dude,
right?
The Predator. I was thinking the same thing. It's great. Yeah. Prey is so. Have you seen Prey yet? I forgot.
I
We
haven't
talked
seen
about
it. I haven't
this.
seen it. I haven't seen it. I
No,
don't have
man, you are
Hulu.
robbing
I don't have Hulu
yourself.
yet. Yeah, I
Get
don't.
a
A
trial
trial.
subscription. Dude, you are robbing yourself in an
Oh
experience.
man.
You just
Yeah.
talk about Godzilla and
Bring
stuff,
aliens
man. Come
back.
on.
Like
Yeah,
it's not
exactly.
the great movie right anymore. So bring aliens back.
Man, come on,
Um,
Disney. Call us.
no, yeah. Yeah, right.
We're just throwing stuff out for free right now.
Yeah, yeah. We're just giving you ideas for free. I saw a really good video the other day, man, and I forgot the name of the channel because I wanted to shout it out because it's not the quote or the sentiment behind this is not it's not me. It's something that I had heard from another video. But remember a few weeks ago when you were talking about someone asking Chapek about how do you react to Epic Universe is like, oh, we've been building for the last 10 years.
Iger, yeah,
So
yeah.
so the video put it in this way. It's like that's a lie. That was your reaction to Harry Potter Land when
Ooh.
they caught you off guard and started stealing your cookies, and then now with this is your reaction to Epic Universe, right?
Yeah, that's
And,
true. They probably couldn't say it then either. He had to use that as his premise of this is our shield because they didn't know this would be greenlit yet.
and
This has
it's
probably been years. This has been years in the
I
making, dude.
know, but it's really frustrating, man.
Chapek slowed everything down. We know
Oh,
this.
yeah,
He
and
messed
I
up. He
know
set, he
that the
set them
pandemic
back
did
like 5 years,
the
dude.
pandemic did too, right? For sure, right? Because Epic
Oh yeah,
Universe was supposed to open like the beginning of this year, um,
right.
but at the same time, it's like, man, I'm talk about mistakes, dude.
Yeah,
It's like, how the heck did this guy ended up as CEO and just messed like yes, sent everything back like 5 years?
I would say so. I think by
Incredible.
closer to 2030, you're gonna see a
It's like
return to Disney form if they make the right
I
steps.
don't know, man. It's mind boggling. Like, and again, there's people who really care, but you know, data, right? It's like
Yeah,
it's funny because no, I don't wanna,
yeah.
I don't wanna get into the
I
weeds,
know. Our
but I
Disney
know
tangents can happen. It's
it's
tough.
yeah, crazy tangents can happen. Right? That's this is good for our Patreon, right?
I think so. I think
If you start
so.
subscribing to Patreon, guys, we're gonna start putting in content, and we're
Plug
gonna
it.
put some of these things in perspective in there, and not really like on the YouTube channel because could get PG-13. So, but yeah, I mean it's good that it's approved, right? What are they gonna do? They got a plan, dude, and they got to plan ahead, and they need someone with vision that can know, not only lead the project, right, and
Yeah.
not only design these things, right, because that's there's designers and there's managers and all that, but someone that can take a piece of paper
Yeah.
and draw a park and say this is what I want, 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 make it happen, right? And if it don't make it happen, okay, so this one's not gonna happen, then go for this one, right? So and you need someone that knows not only the Disney IP but what's going on outside of Disney
Yeah.
that
I
can
have a
Disney can
pulse on the
partner with
community.
and bring in to their properties. So
Yeah.
I mean, there's a Kingdom Hearts movie or series happening. This is a great opportunity to create some synergy there. So I don't know, man. We shall see.